first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
And hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thank you, as always, for joining us. We are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We're on our YouTube channel. We're at KPTV.com. We're on the Fox 12 Oregon apps. So plenty of places to watch live. Those are some other options, depending on which one you're on, but also where you can watch our segments afterward. And we cover a wide range of things, but this one I feel like is very important for everybody out there who has a pet. Probably everybody has that one horror story where my pet got into something or my pet did this. I had one that ate a thermometer once, and the same dog actually ate a blue pack of that freezing stuff that you put into the freezer. So I've gone through some issues, and we want to talk about, just around the holidays specifically, some things that you can watch out for, that you should know about, and then what to do should those issues happen. And to do so, we are joined now by Jessica Waters from DoveLewis. You pulled up here. There we go. And Jessica, thanks again for being here. You shared some great tips with us last time, and I think it's important to revisit these things, the stuff that can happen, and understand what the big concerns are, I guess, around the holidays.
Definitely. Big concerns are usually, honestly, ingesting things. We have a lot of decorations, foods, light cords, holiday plants, things like that.
Yeah, so those things being around, and obviously depending on what your pet's, how your pet works, chewing up light cords, those kinds of things are definitely concerns. So when we're talking about food specifically, what are some of the big concerns food-wise? And I know that could depend on the pet or the type of animal, but just generally speaking, are there some main things that people could be aware of?
Yeah, definitely. So, we're going to have different dishes with bones in them, being careful of that. Treats, holiday treats like chocolate, macadamia nuts, anything that's sweetened with xylitol. I think of other things. Anything that's really fatty that could cause like pancreatitis. So, if you're going to share food with your pets, make sure it's pretty bland and be careful of what could be toxic.
And talking about the xylitol, because I learned about this the last time that you were on. So can you give everybody just an explanation of what that is and maybe some of the products that they should watch out for that would have that?
Yes. Xylitol is like an artificial sweetener. It's found in some protein powders, kind of like nut butters, things like that, mostly found in gum and some sugar-free candies, toothpastes, things that pets don't usually like, but we know they like to get into gum sometimes. So just making sure that xylitol is not in there. It can cause a lot of issues with their, pancreas and such.
Yeah, that's an important one to, again, that's why I like to reiterate this stuff for everybody out there, because I did not realize that. So if your pet is getting into some of those candies or gum, that is a concern. And should they, talking about that one specifically, let's say your dog gets, which I can picture my dog doing this. So let's say a dog gets into some gum, some of that sugar-free gum, and chews up, say, a pack of it. What do you do in that situation? What are the steps you should take?
So you can call ASPCA and tell them how many you think that they ate, getting into an emergency clinic, or if your day practice is open for vomiting induction. Really the easiest and fastest thing is for you to take your animal into a place to safely induce vomiting and hopefully get all of those pieces up.
So you should do that no matter what. So it's not like a sit and wait and see kind of thing. It's get them in right away.
It's one of those things that's better to treat before problems arise. Yeah, because otherwise you could end up needing to hospitalize the pet for a long period of time, and it could end up being, more expensive.
Yeah, there are definitely concerns all around when it comes to that. So that's certainly an important one, again, for everybody out there. And looking at it, and I'm going to just ask something specific too. When it comes to dark chocolate, that's something that a lot of people are aware of, that's not good for pets, but is there a certain amount that should be concerning, or is it just bad all around?
That's a really difficult question to answer because it kind of depends on the darkness of the chocolate and then the size of the patient or pet. So say my 6-pound dog gets into a little bit of dark chocolate, it's probably going to be a problem versus a Labrador. So it kind of depends on the amount, the darkness, and their weight. You can call a hospital. Usually they have like a chocolate wheel. And it might be something as simple as like, just watch out for GI signs because it can upset their GI tract, vomiting, diarrhea, or you need to get them in somewhere so that they can have vomiting induction. Otherwise, it could cause increased heart rate, arrhythmias, things like that.
So give a call in if you suspect that that's what's happened, and just consult with a professional.
Yes, EASPCA is another great resource too.
As far as, sometimes you may not know if your pet did get into something. You may not be aware or may not have caught them or have seen it. What are some different signs that you should look out for with your pets just to notice that, hey, maybe something is going on, there's a problem, maybe they did get into something and I didn't realize it?
Yeah, and the great thing is that everybody knows their pet's the best, but common signs that we see: vomiting and diarrhea, lethargy or weakness, excessive drooling, loss of appetite, or maybe they have a distended abdomen, something like that. hmm
So if you see any of those issues, then that means, yeah, something's going on. And I think, yeah, as you mentioned, everybody knows their pet probably the best. So if they're acting out of the ordinary, then I guess that's something to be concerned about.
Yeah.
And one other question too, and sorry, I keep asking these specific ones that you brought up, but talking about the bone side of things, because a lot of people are having either turkey dinners or chicken. There's a lot of poultry bones around, and I know that can be a concern. So when it comes to those bones, is there anything safe for them to eat in that realm of things, or is the better idea just to keep that away from pets in general?
Are you meaning like giving them anything? Obviously, without a bone would be best if you can take the very bland turkey meat off of it, no extra seasonings and things like that. If they do ingest a bone, it really kind of depends on if it was cooked or not and if they chew it up. But making sure that, you can call a hospital and talk to them about what they may have eaten and whether to bulk up their diet or something like that. Is that helpful?
Yeah, that is.
Great.
So again, it goes down to, yeah, calling into the hospital. And, to that extent, what should people be aware of should those emergencies arise? You mentioned a couple of phone numbers, but maybe we can reiterate that for everybody of, if something does happen and you're concerned about some issues with your pet, what are those first steps that you should do?
Yeah, you can call your regular vet and see if they're open. ASPCA is a great resource for different toxins that might have been ingested. They have a great ability to look up things and see like what would be a toxic level and whether you need to go into the hospital or not. There's quite a few emergency hospitals in the area. Obviously, DoveLewis is open 24/7. We also have urgent care too, and there's a couple other urgent cares in the area as well.
Nice. So some different options there for people to look into, but then in the worst case, yeah, absolutely, you can come in for some urgent care or emergency hospital. Any other thing that you think is big for people to just be aware of and think about around this time of year?
I think kind of going back to, you're going to have a lot of people over, making sure that your pets are comfortable with people coming in and out. And then, we're going into the cold season. So if it's too cold for you, it's probably too cold for them, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Yep. So be aware of that, and yeah, with a lot of people coming in and out, if your dog does have some anxiety, what's a good step to help mitigate some of those issues?
Um, Honestly, like a favorite toy of theirs, something, maybe a frozen sweet potato or something like that. Or pumpkin, any kind of thing to help distract them somewhere where they're quieter. We used to keep our dog in the bathroom when we had people over during the holidays, but that's where she felt safe.
Yeah, sometimes that's just, they have their spots. A frozen sweet potato, I never thought about that. That's a really good idea. So that's safe for
Sorry,
them to have.
I meant, sorry, like mashed up sweet potato, like an ice cube of sweet potato instead.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to do that. That's a great idea. Well, thank you. Anything else that you think I forgot or that people should know? We covered quite a bit.
That's great. Feel free to call any of the hospitals, and I hope you have a safe and happy holiday season.
All right, Jessica, thank you so much for having some time to talk to us today. I really appreciate it. It helps a lot.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
You too. And for everybody watching, again, this is Fox 12 Now. We're live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We have lots of things that happen here throughout the afternoon, so come right back to whatever platform you found us on. You can go there if you're watching live, and I'll be back at 1:30 p.m. If you're watching after the fact, peruse our channel because there is so much for you to go through. I mentioned it before, but we cover a wide range of topics. So there's probably something of interest for you in there. And if there's not, feel free to send me an email, fox12now@kptv.com. If there's a topic you think should be covered, we'll see if we can do that. fox12now@kptv.com. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg.